What's up, guys? For this week's class, we're going to be going over half 90 position and pigeon and primarily working on the hips. What you'll need is, these will be for regressions, but either a foam roller or a pillow or something to sit on if you need it, and a slide. Or if you're using a hardwood floor, you can also use a paper plate or a towel or anything along those lines just to give yourself a surface to slide on. What we're going to start with is pigeon position, which is the one we'll use for the foam roller. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line my front leg up into a 90-degree angle from the ankle, the knee to the hip. From there, I'm going to try to sink my hip down as much as possible. If you're limited with your external rotation, what you're going to do is you're going to sit on the roller to make it a little bit higher and a little bit more of a comfortable position for you. From there, I'm going to try to get both my hips to face towards the camera. And now from here, we're going to work through a Pales rails contraction. My Pales is going to be me pushing the ankle, the knee, and the hip down towards the floor, just like we do in 90-90, while staying upright through the torso. If you're able to hold this position, take your hands off the floor. Now we're going to push down 25% through the ankle, the knee, and the hip, staying nice and upright through the chest. Now we're going to push down at 50%, gradually making that scale heavier like we always do. Now we're pushing down 75%. Now 100%, pushing down through the ankle, the knee, and the hip. We're going to hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. My rails, I'm going to try to lift the foot up. I'm going to keep holding, trying to make the shin as light as possible on the floor. We're going to hold for another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax there. Hold for 5 breaths, and we're going to work through another cycle. The second cycle, I'm going to take the roller away to show you what to do if you aren't as limited. You should be feeling the stretch on the outer part of the hip while trying to keep the chest as upright as possible, just like we talked about with 90-90. As I do this, I'm focused on the trail leg not coming too far out to the side like that 90-90 position. I'm trying to keep it as far behind me as possible. Take one more breath. And then the second thing will be the progression where I'm going to take the roller away. And now from here, my Pales is going to be the same thing, pushing the hip, knee, ankle down towards the floor. My rails, I'm going to keep pulling the hip towards the floor, but try to lift the foot the same way we did. So ankle, knee, hip, pushing down 25%. Now we're going to work that up to 50, keeping that stretch on the outer part of the hip. 75. Now 100%. Ankle, knee, hip pushing down towards the floor, holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rails contraction, trying to pull the hip towards the floor while lifting the foot. Make the shin as light as possible. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax there. Hold for 2 more breaths. And then relax. And as always, if you're doing this on your own, practice for longer periods of time holding that position, allowing the flexibility to kick in. Same thing on the opposite leg. We'll do the first set with the roller. Compare your opposite side to this. See which one's a little bit more limited. So we're lining up that 90, trying to get the opposite trail leg behind me as much as I can. And now from here, same thing. Pushing the hip, knee, ankle down towards the floor, staying upright through the chest. Pushing down 25%. And now we're going to work that up to 50. Make sure everything is facing forward towards the camera, not allowing your body to rotate. 75. And now your hardest pain-free contraction through the hip, knee, ankle, pushing down, holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rails contraction, trying to lift the foot and the shin off the floor. Hold for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax for 5 breaths. And again, the goal is to eventually get this lead hip towards the floor as much as possible, allowing it to sit on the actual floor. Hold for 2 more breaths. Now we're going to take the roller away, trying to pull the hip towards the floor. And now same thing, ankle, knee, hip are going to push down for pails. Rails are going to be still trying to pull the hip towards the floor while lifting the foot. So pushing down with the pails, 25%. Now working that up to 50. 75, pushing everything down towards the floor. Now 100%, hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rails contraction, pulling the hip towards the floor while trying to lift the foot. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax for 5 breaths. Hold for 2 more breaths. And relax. Now, with your slider, what we're going to do is we're going to set up a 90-90 position. We're going to just work on transition from 90-90 to half 90. The first 3 reps we'll do with a slider, and then we'll do 3 without it. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up in 90-90. So line up your 90s perfectly. Now from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use hand support while keeping the trail leg in that 90. I'm going to start to try to lift the foot, keeping it as light as possible on the slider. I'm going to try to slide it on out in front of me into half 90. I'm going to pull it back in nice and slow. And if you have to, just readjust your foot on that slider as you go. And as I said earlier, you can use a towel or anything on a wood floor or any surface that you are able to slide on to do this. We're going to try to lift up again from the foot. My goal over time is to try to get my the toes to point up towards the ceiling as much as possible while getting that leg straight out in front. I'm going to pull it back in, staying nice and tall through the chest, going slowly. And as I slide out, I want to focus on making sure that when I slide out and get that leg as straight as possible, I'm not feeling it directly on the back part of the knee. If you feel it there, that's your sciatic nerve. I want you to bend the knee a little bit as you go out. So I'm going to slide, make the foot as light as possible. This is going to be our 3rd rep. Reaching out in front, make sure you don't feel it on the back part of the knee, and then slowly pulling it back in under control. Now we're going to do the same thing with an actual lift off of the foot. If you're unable to lift off, continue practicing with the slider. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build tension throughout my upper body. I'm pushing the hands down hard. I'm lifting. And I'm going to dump it out in front, trying to get it as close to that 90 as half 90 as possible. And I'm going to pull back in, bringing it back down. We'll do 2 more reps like that. Again, if you need it, use the slide. Pull back up, trying to lift the foot towards the face, rotating on out, and then dumping it down into that half 90. Lifting from the foot, staying as tall as possible through the chest. And now we're going to do 1 more. So lifting back up, out in front, dumping it down, and pull it back in, and then switch sides. Again, just like I said with Pigeon, compare your left side to your right side with this. The side that needs a little bit more work, add a couple more reps in. So send those 90s up again. Getting the foot on the slide. Chest is nice and upright. I'm going to try to lift the foot, slide it on out, and try to lift the foot again off that slide, bring it back in. Do 2 more reps, nice and slow, under control. Pushing the hands down, chest stays nice and upright, and sliding back in. I'm focused on driving the back leg into the floor the whole time as I do this. Do 1 more rep, readjust the foot if you need to, slide on out, and then pull back in, and then relax for a second. Same thing, if you need the slide still, continue to use it. If not, take it out. Now same thing, pushing the hands hard into the floor, trying to lift the front shin. Bring the foot on out, staying as tall as possible through the chest, then lifting back up, bringing it back into that 90. 2 more reps like that. The whole time I'm driving the back leg down, I'm pushing the arms hard into the floor. If this is easy for you, you can take the hands off the floor as well. Lifting up, and then gently putting down. Lifting on up from the foot again. And then 1 last rep. Then lift from the foot, make it as light as possible, bring it back in, and then relax. So now that we've gone over the transition, we're gonna go into half 90 pails rails now to give you some isometric work to improve overall mobility. So I'm gonna set up in that half 90 again. And now from here, my pails contraction is going to be me pushing the heel into the floor. From there, my rails is going to be me trying to pull my torso forward while trying to lift the foot up. Again, trying to keep it up towards the ceiling, not letting it spin out as much as possible. Pushing the trail leg into the floor, make sure it maintains 90. We're going to push the heel down 25% as hard as we can, staying upright through the chest, belly button's lined up with the foot. Now we're going to push down at 50%. 75, and now 100. Stay nice and tall, holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Freeze. Try to pull yourself further forward while trying to lift the foot up. Hold for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax there for 5 breaths. And again, focus on not feeling anything on the back part of the knee. It should be in the muscle belly of the hamstring. Hold for 2 more breaths. Now we're going to do the same thing, pushing the heel down, pails contraction 25%. We're going to work that up to 50%. 75. Now your hardest pain-free contraction into the floor. Push the heel down hard. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rails, pull further forward, try to lift the foot. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Hold for 5. Hold for 2 more breaths. And then relax. We're going to switch to the other side. Same thing for 2 cycles. So So lining up that trail leg 90, getting over that front side as much as you can. Now we're gonna push down into the floor with the heel 25%. Stay nice and tall through the torso. Now we're gonna push down at 50%. 75. Now 100%, pushing the heel into the floor. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rails contraction. Pull everything together. Heel to the chest, chest to the heel. Hold for another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Again, that trail leg, making sure you maintain 90 the whole time, feeling nothing in the back part of the knee on the front leg. Hold for 2 more breaths. Now we're going to start that back up, pushing the heel back into the floor, pales contraction 25%. Pushing down at 50%. Stay nice and upright through the torso. 75. Now 100. Pain-free hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rails. Pull further forward. Try to pull the toes to the face. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax there for 5 breaths. Again, this is going to be one of the more challenging positions. You're trying your best to get into that half 90 as much as possible. If you can't, coming out to the side a little bit is going to be okay. Just gradually trying to work your way into a straight line. Hold for 2 more breaths. And then relax. So now that we did our half 90 and our pigeon, what we're going to do is we're just going to go to a side lying position and do an isometric drill for internal rotation of the hip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my roller, I'm going to relax my head on it, and now from here I'm going to bring my knee into as much flexion as I possibly can. The goal here is me improving internal rotation of the hip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get to a high enough degree of flexion where I can't lift off the floor much. From here, what our pales contraction is going to be is me pushing the knee, the ankle, and the hip down, just like 90-90, towards the floor. My rails contraction is going to be me trying to lift the foot off the floor, making the shin as light as possible. So keeping your head nice and relaxed, we're going to push the hip, knee, ankle down towards the floor 25% as hard as we can. Now from there, we're going to work that up to 50%. 75, pushing the hip, the knee, and the ankle down towards the floor. Now your hardest pain-free contraction, hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rails, trying to lift the foot up as high as you can, getting good rotation from that hip. Hold for another 8 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then relax down. We're going to go through a second cycle. You're going to try to pull the knee a little bit further up, deeper into hip flexion now. Now, same thing, keeping the chest nice and upright. Hip, knee, ankle are all pushing down towards the floor, 25%. Now we're going to work that up to 50%. 75 through the hip, the knee, and the ankle. Now 100% hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rails. Try to lift up and hold. Keep squeezing for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then relax back down. Now we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. If you wanted to continue challenging yourself with this, what you can do is you can put something under the foot, do isometrics from there until you literally can't lift off anymore. Same thing, setting up straight line from head to toe. Relax my head on the roller. I'm going to pull into as much flexion as I can, trying to keep myself square with the camera. Now from here, same exact thing. Pushing the foot down, the knee down, and then the hip towards the floor, 25% as hard as I can. And now we're going to work that up to 50. 75%. Now 100% holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rails. Try to lift the foot. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax down. We're going to slide the knee a little bit further up, keeping the chest nice and upright. I'm going to drive my straight leg into the floor. Now I'm also going to push the hip, knee, and ankle down 25%. Now I'm going to work that up to 50. 75. Now 100%. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pivoting off the knee, trying to lift the whole shin off the floor, and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. As we always mention, if you want to improve overall flexibility in that position, you would hold the passive stretch after. Doing isometrics for now just to improve overall mobility, learn how to control ourselves in that position. So now the last thing we're going to do today is going to be for a hip extension, and we're going to do it from a half kneeling position. So all we're going to do is we're going to set up half kneeling. We're going to make sure I'm squeezing my abs hard so I'm not arching the back, allowing the hip to kick back. I want to keep it tucked under so that the knee and the hip are a straight line. From here now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull myself as far forward as I possibly can, trying to improve that hip extension on my left leg, squeezing the butt hard, trying to feel a contraction throughout the entire bottom leg. Once I can't go any further forward, I'm slowly going to back out of that. So I'm going to pull forward, abs are nice and tight, driving the hip forward, squeezing the butt hard. Now I'm going to use my front leg to push me back. We're going to do 3 more reps like that. Pulling as far forward as I can, driving that hip towards the wall in front of you, squeezing nice and hard, and using that lead leg to pull you back out. We go 2 more. Pulling forward, coming back out. Here we go, 1 last rep. Adjust yourself if you have to. Squeeze the butt hard, pulling forward, and coming back out. Now we're going to switch sides, same thing on this side. Squeezing the butt nice and hard, peeling forward, so as much hip extension as possible. Now driving through that left leg to pull you back. Squeezing the butt hard, driving forward, Nice and slow in both directions. We go 3 more. And then 2 more. Slowly coming forward. And pulling back. And then 1 last rep.